Hello guys, it's Unders and here we are again 1 year later to do Can Neutron 2 automatically fix my mix? So the track I've got here is Man on a Mission from the EP that's hopefully coming out in the next month or so. I'm really happy with the track, and what I'm going to do is take the buses, because most of it is bussed out here on these channels. I'm going to take the primary ones, so like the drums, vocals and all of that, and do the automatic processing with Neutron and see if it can improve it at all. That's going to be the aim anyway. Let's see how it works out. So the track currently sounds like this.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away?
And you know what? I'm happy with it. It's a tune. Every time I play it, I'm getting the right feeling from it. So for me, it's done. Move on to the next one. But I figured it'd be a great example for this because I'm already happy with it. So if it does any kind of improvement, great. And if it does something negative, it should stand out to me because I'm pretty well acquainted with this track at this point. So I'm going to speed this up for you guys, but what I'm going to do is select the main buses, add Neutron on, and then we're just going to get them all activated so I can A/B it and hear what's going on. But you don't want to watch that, so double time. Alright, so we've got Neutron on the main bits of the track. I've just soloed out those key buses, and I've got Neutron on its own layer here. So just so you can hear the bits that I've got going on that are all bussed out.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away?
The only thing really missing from this is a couple of incidentals and things. It is the main parts of all of the tracks. So I'm going to open up all of the versions of Neutron now. I'm just going to use the default settings for the track assistant, which is balanced and medium, and I'm just going to apply that to every single one of the tracks, and we're going to do it in real time because it should be relatively quick. So let's get some audio playing into these and get all the track assistants on the go.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistake, and time is precious, still my time I take. Lost a lot of brethren to depression, questions on my mind. Real talk, true friends are hard to come but hard to find. Bars are from the heart, start to finish, no one ever lied. Rappers rap about trapping, chatting crap, it's like the culture died. Like all they wanna chat about side, they make their money multiply. Can't see the consequence, like they haven't got an open eye. More straps and Rambo, they ain't in the bando. Chat in their bars, but they ain't gonna bang, no. Ain't on the strip, never broken down a box. It seems like they're slipping because there's evidence if you're in the...
Boom, and we managed to finish that before the 16 bars were even over. So what we're going to do is highlight these out as such, and then we can A/B the whole lot. So what we'll do, we'll take the first 4 bars and we'll have Neutron off. We'll let it play through. As it's going to jump to the next 4 bars, I'll introduce Neutron and we'll see if we get any improvements. Non-improvements, sounds the same, who knows, let's find out.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time I take. Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time I take. Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time I take. Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to...
Alright, so it's doing some key things for me. The vocal, it's bringing up a lot of the sibilances that I've worked hard to keep down, but something it's doing quite nicely is on the bass, it's just bringing it out a little bit more. So I'm going to look at those two things and just figure out why it's doing that and what's going on. Let's take the vocal channel first. So we just solo the vocals out here.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide?
Yeah, now for me and my headphones right now, it's bringing out some sharpness that wasn't there before. So it's introduced both compressors and the exciter. Can't imagine those to be causing the problem. No. Cool, so it's going to be this right here. So that looks like a boost around 8K. 8.1. That's going to be just catching the sibilances that I've balanced them out really nicely because there was some harshness in the vocal layers, and I've got it to the point that you can pump the song and it sits quite nicely, but pushing them up by 2 decibel, probably going up to like 3 or 4 towards the end, is just too much for that. We can just turn this on and off. Let's just A and B that, and I reckon that's going to be the cause of it. So we'll have it off and then introduce it.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time.
Yeah, that's definitely the cause of it, and it just becomes so much harsher when you bring it in. Just changing it by a couple of decibels, that's definitely what happens when you get to this point in the mix. The tiniest of adjustments can make and break it. It is grabbing some frequencies here. Now, I know I had some trouble areas. Okay, it seems to be around the 2K point. I thought was a bit higher. Let's just hear what that's grabbing. If you remember, the previous version of Neutron was amazing at finding like issues in the audio and grabbing them out. Let's see if it's done the same thing. It's done a 10 decibel reduction, so I imagine that's going to be massive.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time.
You know what, while it is grabbing a pretty unpleasant frequency, pulling it down by 10 dBs too much. If we dial that back to about 5, I think that's a bit more acceptable because it's losing the body of the vocal, and I bet in the mix you can hear that difference.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time I take. Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life.
I get it right. So about 4 is acceptable. It's a nice reduction there. Dropping it by like 10, it's just taking the detail out. You're losing the definition in the vocal there that we've worked to keep. So yeah, it's grabbing an unpleasant area, but again, it's in a balance that's perfectly fine. You don't notice it as a problem unless you boost it. Dipping it by 4 is alright. I would probably just leave it, to be honest. Everything else it's doing I kind of like. Maybe a little too compressed, but we could work that away. It's done okay once you take away this high boost, which is just straight up unpleasant to listen to. What's it doing on the bass? Because the way it's bringing the bass in and out is really nice. Cool, so now I can hear it on its own. It's adding some high end. If I take it away, yeah, so it's adding that real fuzz up there. So I reckon if we look at the EQ, okay, it's really minimal on the EQ, just a couple of dB. I think that's going to be our culprit there. It's going to be compressing it, and it's got quite a long release on it. If it's compressing quite hard, it will just be adding to the sustain up in the top end. In fact, let's just solo that. Yeah, there you go. So let's bring in that, 7 decibels up in level potentially, and giving it a long sustain out, whereas beforehand it just wouldn't have been like that. I think that's going to be what's bringing it out so much more in the mix. Let's listen to it all together.
Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time I take. Man on a mission, listen, why you wishing life away? You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time.
Cool, so that's good. That's useful to know that if I was just even over compress or multiband compress and bring that top end up, it brings the bass out a little bit. So that's helped a bit. Like, I was happy with my mix. That's a small improvement. And 10,000 small improvements are what a mix is all about. So that's been pretty useful. Do you know what? Overall, not a massive difference as before. It's been reined back a lot in terms of the heavy compression. So like levels wise, it seems to only be changing by about 0.1 dB when Neutron's engaged. However, RMS wise, I'm betting you that's bumping up quite a bit, and then peak wise, it's just being brought back down to maintain that. It's got a bit more guts, but yeah, overall, you know what? Okay, it's doing the thing. If we take that high shelf lift on the vocals that was bringing all the sibilants out, it's actually done pretty good job. I wouldn't say it's an overall massive improvement, but you know what? It's not done anything overly negative either.
Man on a mission, listen why you wish your life away. You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my eyes open so you could say that I'm wide awake. It's blatant, no mistaking, time is precious, still my time I take. Man on a mission, listen why you wish your life away. You only get one chance at it, so why you trying to hide away? Got my
Definitely pumping up the RMS there. So like I say, peak level is sitting around the same, but it's giving a lot more volume to it. And that's got a weird perception thing with us. We always perceive louder to be better on the initial impression. So something you need to be careful with, but what it's shaping overall seems to be pretty good. Hope the video was helpful for you guys. If you didn't see the first one, check that out as well. That was with the original version of Neutron. You can give a comparison of the two. And I will see you on the next video.